keep the noise down, because it's late at night, Si. People are in bed. Whoever's watching in the chat, just shh. Maybe don't wake anybody up. How are you?
I tell you what, we matched tonight. Look at this.
Well, welcome everybody to Shabby Geek. We just waited. Right, I'll explain what's going on because I got a couple of messages today. Like, Shabby, you thick plum, you've messed up. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you put the wrong time now. So, and I suppose that's what it is. But I was talking to our sign, and we were saying it's funny because, I for those that don't know, I live in America. I live in the United States, and so when I do things like ZSR or Tub Thumpers or Stu's quiz and stuff like that, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me. And talking about that, we got a guest here today. Hello, Scooby.
What's up?
It's funny.
What's a handsome man?
Right back at you.
I was just saying, Scoobs. For me and you, because me and you were on the same time, we're on the east coast of America, so we're on the same time zone. And so I wrote today that me and Si were talking this morning, and Si was always saying, why don't you, he feels sorry for lads like us because we always have to rush RT, we always have to rush from home. How many times have you done a stream, Scoobs, and you've gone, I've got to go back to work, or
I know it's like it's still 4 o'clock here. I've got to go.
I know, and so Si was saying, oh, well, because I was talking about Si's. Oh, wait to see the artwork our Si's got, Scoobs. Wait to see it. I mean, gold he's pulled out tonight. So I was just talking to our Si this morning. And Si said, well, why don't you try one at night? But I'm always worried because I'll give you an example. There's 8 people in the chat. That is weird for me. Do you know what I mean? That's like what? You know what I mean? And but I suppose, I don't, what about you, Pete? Does it feel weird? Because I know you do It's Chads and you do Mike's and retro. You've been on a couple of them that are at night, but this is a new one for me. Doing it at this time.
It is. Usually we're having like a private video chat at this hour, not streaming. So yeah, it is. It is a little unique and different, but
it's weird.
All the usual suspects are showing up.
Everyone's coming in. Right? There's some British lads here and so forth that I can't believe have come in, which is really, really nice of him. But I mean, obviously, we're still going to be doing ZSR. We're still going to be doing Tub Thumpers. We're still going to be, they're. I've got to admit, Pete, same as you. Sometimes you feel a bit because my main thing is Irish and Brits. Do you know what I mean? That's the main audience of ours. So I'm never going to not do him. But sometimes you just think to yourself, well, you've got to do something when it's weird. My tea's gone. Everyone's in bed. The dogs are
right. Yeah, it's quiet at your house. Like,
yeah, because usually I do a ZSR or I do Tub Thumpers and I'm wetting myself because thinking, the kids are going to come into, the dogs are going to kick off or something. How many times have I been sat in ZSR and you hear something breaking? Because my kitchen is right. Scooby, you've been here. Oh, yeah, my kitchen is right behind.
Yeah, you're looking at it. Through that wall.
We've got a what do we call those things that's a hole in the wall? Mum used to have one side. A pass through. That was like Mum filled hers in, didn't she, Si? That sounded so dodgy.
Pass through it. We filled that in as well. That was a door right there.
Yeah.
This was a door.
Right. We filled
that in as well. Yeah.
That's right. She had 2 doors. Yeah.
Which is weird because I've been in your kitchen too.
Yeah, Scheme of Things Global.
Yeah.
Global
thanks.
thing.
I know, right where the fridge is to get her Anne-Marie's tasty treats.
Yeah.
You have to walk outside. Why you have to walk outside is because we've done the kitchen up, right? We bought this new side and everything in the kitchen side. And there was an extra compartment, right? For you put all your larger, your cans and all that and everything. So the drawers. And I said to Jay, we're going to have to leave them. I said, because if we put that in, we're not going to get in as well with the fridge. I said, so we'll have to leave that one and cut it down. And me and Jay both totally forgot, left it in. So every time somebody has to come in the kitchen now, they have to turn to the side. There's a gap about that big in the feet. So we have to take that out.
Boy.
Yeah, you got to do the little and then in.
Yeah,
it's weird. But one thing that I am going to be happy about, I won't be behind on the chat, so that'll be pretty good. So if someone tells a joke tonight, it's not going to be a week after when I get to it. But let's just have a see who's here. Hey Scott, thanks for coming, pal. Nice to see you, pal.
Yeah. Mom should be home anytime to grab car, and then you'll have my 100% undivided attention.
Oh man, but we love Carly.
Yeah, so the chat don't love Carly.
The chat. I don't know. She's pretty dang cute.
Yeah.
What do I got?
Hey,
6
Shabby,
minutes. Get one in real quick.
What, Scott?
I said I got 6 minutes. I can get a quickie in.
Kieran Ball says, Shabby's right about the day and time, or is it Si what the France? No, it's the right time. But like I say, and the thing is, Scoobs, we should do, because Si's like a bloody badger, innit? He's nocturnal, innit? Our size, you know what I mean? He should have been a milkman or a late night electrician or something, you know. So
he likes to boogie.
This is all practice. When I finally meet a vampire, this is all practice.
Is that what it is? All practice, yeah. Well, Kieran, hiya, Kieran. Thanks to see you. Super Awesome's come to say hello. Hey!
What's up, John?
We've got Travels with Jason. You're up late,
Jason.
mate. Yeah, Kieran's up late. Travels with Jason's up late. Good old G-Force.
Hey, right? What's up, G-Force?
Wizzy's here. Hiya, Wizzy.
Whiz-bits.
From the Great White North.
Look at this, Ricardo. Oh, Gilster, you see, Gilster.
Hey, Gilster.
He's another one too. How many times have you seen Gilster come in at the very end of a stream because he goes, "Oh, I had to work, I had to do this." Now he can watch it, can't he? So that's awesome, man.
I didn't recognise him though with his big tash. I thought it was Tom Selleck. I didn't recognise him.
I tell you what, it's awesome.
It suits him.
Was he on? It was on Stu's one. He's showing his tash off, and I thought, I wrote that is an awesome moustache. I love that moustache. Brilliant. So Gilster's saying hello to everybody. Good old Gilster. Here we go. About time you did a stream this time of day. That's what I mean, PGM. That's what I mean. It's like I just fancy doing it, and it's weird for people like me and Pete though, because even though we're in America and this is the time we should be streaming, we always do it. I mean, in a way, Si, this is like ZSR time for you lot now. But you know, and it's just because I've always.
This is what I mean now. You lot now ZSR feels. You know, I mean, starting off nice at night. You've had your tea.
You're kind of
everything's out of the way.
Yeah.
You're all relaxed, ready for a bit of TV, and this is the best time to do it once in a while.
One of my favourite ladies is here.
Leslie Deeds.
Good old Leslie.
Had our
Size
tea
of
with the kiddos.
Bigfoot hybrid who can only sniff his biscuits. Oh, Kieran.
He knows me so well, isn't he?
There's no question of the week side tonight. It's not that show, is it, Kieran? That's probably why Kieran stayed up for question of the week. There is none. So.
Although my question of the week on Wednesday, I'll give you a little sneak preview. It is vampire related.
Is it? For Wednesday, it's vampire related.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because we do loads of stuff for people, but I haven't been able to play this in weeks because he's always, like I said, the times we do it. So good old PGM's here.
Let's hear those flutes. I love it.
I've got a bone to pick with Gap, right? So I'm on Stu's quiz yesterday, and Gap turns around and I could see Gap writing in the. I think it was Gap. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, Stu's the best host on YouTube and all. And I thought, hang on a minute, me man, Tess, we've been doing it years. Stu, after maybe 5 minutes. Oh. He does a good job though, doesn't he, Gap? He does a great job.
To be fair, Gap was newly minted as a moderator, so
is that what it was?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I'm only here because Babe Station was crap tonight.
I hear it's down to one station.
Hey,
what the France?
Yes, I'm very annoyed. I might just write a letter. I've never wrote a letter before, but I might just write a letter saying what's going on here. How come you've cut it down to like one show and now we've got that one and expanded? I'm very happy. I have to write a letter of complaint.
Sad days.
Talking about a letter
on of complaint. Behalf.
Let me take
look at Ricardo here. Well, there's a question of the week. Let me take some time.
It's got Excedrin written all over it.
The thing is, though, Scoops, you have to think about our size because I make sure I say to Si, don't tell me until you know you do. I want to be the same as everybody else. I want to listen to it, but sometimes he said a question. I'm like, where the Francis he pulled that from? You know, what does he think about through the day? You know what I mean?
Even if I'm far too often I'm driving and listening, like I'm not watching, I'm just listening, and I like just laugh my balls off.
I suppose like, when you're an artist, you've just got lots of time to think about stuff, haven't you?
Yeah,
you've got lots of time to just think and just daydream and
drifting.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that, Simon, with your artwork where you've thought something, you end up drawing it? You know, like, you know, you're meant to be drawing something else, but something comes in your mind.
That's how you do it, really. That's the only problem is that every time I get halfway through a piece of work, I'm always thinking the next two, and sometimes I have to even stop and start something else and then go back to what I'm doing. I suppose when you draw, you're always like that. Your mind's always whirring.
Yeah, you got you. Pete, are you trying to look taller with that camera angle?
Me?
Yeah. I
did get a new chair, so I'm still adjusting.
I don't think you could get any taller, could you, Scoob? I don't think you could get any taller. Oops, angle. Probably got Mrs. Gilster right there. So yeah, look at that. I'm down to the bottom of the chat. We've got 12 people in now. So I honestly, I was talking to Si.
Up to 12.
No, I said to Si, I'm not expecting anybody in because really, like I said, you know, it's Shabby never does we never do a late night live stream, and I thought, but the thing for me, Scuba and Scott and Si, is like I've always said, I always rely on the chat. So when Si said, well, we'll do his artwork, it makes it a lot easier. And then when you two said you'll come on as well, I thought, oh, even better. Do you know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about it at all.
It's just like a Monday night, like you're you know, the work week's begun, one day down already. It's just nice to the dirty dozen. I like that, Karen.
Well, no, I really appreciate you all coming in tonight. I do. That was awesome of you guys. Right, so tell everybody why we're here, Sam. What we're doing. Scott, you're gonna have to sort your mic out just a little bit. It's giving a bit of a thing.
Is that better?
That's better. Right, go on,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what it is that obviously, you know, a few months back we was doing out the loft because we've had the plumbers in and had it all completely replumbed. And while I was up there, that's when I come across the tubs and stuff. But I also came across this, which was I've got a load of art still here. I've got all arts in different sizes, but in one of the tubs was this, which was just this size, which was full of this sort of art. So I just thought, you know, people like sort of looking at me art and stuff. So I thought we'll do a late night stream where I just show bits of this off and we'll just talk about it. So that's what it was. So there's quite a few. I mean, it was in this plastic pack, and you know, there's quite a few. To be fair with you.
I love this because how often is it we get teased privately on a video chat like, oh, it's upstairs.
It's upstairs.
Like, son of a bitch. Like when I went to visit, I almost, you know, because that's where the bathroom is, I almost went like, all right, where is everything up here? Everything's upstairs. I'm gonna check it all out in one fell swoop.
Yeah, every time. But the worst, Pete, is what he does. Scott and Pete, he goes, oh, lads, I've drawn this thing today. It's the best thing I've ever. Oh, I suppose Mona Lisa itself isn't as good as it. Oh, brilliant, Si. Where is it? Oh, it's upstairs. He's got all the time.
Every time.
I was prepared tonight because normally it's this time of night for me, and I can't be running around my house like some madman getting stuff out and
up and down the steps.
Well, because it was all planned for tonight, I got it all ready today.
Well, Win says he must be the 12th person who's joined tonight. We're actually up to 16 people now, so that is cheers, Win, for staying up because Win's in Wales, isn't he? So it's mega late for him.
Yeah.
Good old Travels with Jason's still up. Awesome. Gary's Grails here.
Gary.
Hi, Gary.
What's up, dude?
Gary, he did a good job, didn't he, on John's Jeopardy, doing all the commentating and keeping everyone in order.
Yeah,
and
I felt a bit bad,
I won 50 quid.
I was getting hammered. I was getting absolutely hammered. So I had this thing. I just went, "Oh, there's a delay on my end." There wasn't. But I think
because I was a genius.
Just a mental delay.
I think a couple of people took it seriously because John went, "Is there a delay?" And I went, "Yes," straight away. And he heard me straight away. So I thought, "Well, that shows you there isn't a delay." But I couldn't believe how Si hammered us all. Hammered everybody.
I know. Just like
France. Do you know what I mean? I was like, how does he know that? You know?
We're not here for messing about.
Yeah, but Si,
it reminded me of.
I said he was quick to tell everybody in the chat too.
Yeah. Oh.
I did.
Well, Si, I've known you for years. You haven't been that quick in a long time. Do you know what I mean?
It reminded me of old school when Frank the Tank blacks out at the debate and he just goes into this very detailed, and then he just, oh, what happened?
Oh, I love that film. I like your doll, Frank. Yeah, she's okay. Oh, brilliant. Win. Now we're bakers half a dozen. Yeah, I can't believe it. 17 people. What the France? You absolute legends. Thank you so much. Oh, that's made my day, that. Because I said, please come in, Scuba and Scott, please.
I was like, as soon as I finish my tea, I'm in.
Oh, actually, I do have a present to show. Just give me 1 second, actually, before.
It must be upstairs. It must be upstairs.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It's right here. This is a present, actually. This was a present for you, me, and Scuba Pete. Ooh. And it came yesterday.
Yeah.
And it came yesterday. I won't show the front because it's the address, but it came yesterday, and this is off the Blackout Ewoks.
Oh.
So this is what he sent us. So we'll have a look. I've unboxed it.
Good old BOE.
Oh, he's a god lad.
Say it. I know.
Look what he sent us.
I know what I want it to be.
He sent me a nice poem, but I think I'll read that poem out on.
He sent me a poem. Brilliant.
He sent a nice poem here. Yeah. He sent you, me.
Yes.
Mangafandanga.
Red Army Bunker.
Shabby Geek. Scuba. The Red Army Bunker poster.
That is awesome.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Put that back on.
Oh, look at that Starling.
That is fantastic.
Oh, BOE, man. That is brilliant.
So, obviously, BOE is the sponsor of the Tub Thumpers. So, I'll read his poem out and I'll show these again on the Tub Thumpers. Wasn't that nice of him sending us them? He's a good lad, isn't he?
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, at least I doesn't use Google like a certain one. Well, there's a bit of a controversy with that in the Scoobs. It's a. You know, it's. I don't want to say he is, but I also don't want to say he isn't. What do you think?
Actually, I think it's BOE's words for his Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Shabby's at the Red-Nosed Pally Boy.
Yeah.
19th of the 12th, 2023. So
tradition. Do you know if BOE does BOE's Christmas song this year? That's the 3rd year in a row. Third year that BOE. It's not Christmas anymore without a BOE Christmas song, right? Is it? You know.
So he's got one of them. That's great, swell.
Absolutely brilliant. Here we go. There was a young man from Yuma who told a joke to a puma. Now his skeleton lies beneath hot western skies. The puma had no sense of humor. Go back to bed. Go back to bed.
Well done, Win.
Oh, brilliant. Right. So explain to us about your art, because I can't talk for Scott and Scoobs, but I am not an artist at all in that sense. I remember doodling as a kid and drawing as a kid, but I never took it seriously ever. It was I was always if I was bored. Remember, we had no internet when we were kids, so if you were bored for an hour, you'd doodle, wouldn't you? Or you'd do something like that.
Like, can I get a pencil and some paper, please?
So when you say things, Simon, like you've stuck with it, and you know about your professionalism of it, and your love of it, and your passion. I understand that because I've known you for all my life. Do you see what I mean? But where does that? Now you're a lot older than what you were. I mean, you're battered now, aren't you? Let's be honest. So how long? How come it stuck with you all that time, size? The love never gone off.
Never left me. I don't feel right for not drawing daily. It's really, I should have done a bit more with myself with my artwork. I had opportunities in my 20s, but I was always like, I'm going to be the next, Todd McFarlane. I'm going to be the next Alex Ross. I always had more dreams and aspirations than just being stuck in an office drawing. But 48, 28, 38, I've always had the same love and passion for it. It's the only thing I've ever stuck at. The only thing I can. Every single. I mean, I have had every job you can think of, from mushroom picking to being a jeweler. And every job I've been fired, I've left, I've walked out, I've been let go. But when it comes to my art, I will sit here all day and have 4 hours sleep and get back to it straight away. I love it that much. Do you know what I mean? And all this work is work that when you just sat there and there's no commissions in and you just want to draw stuff, that's what this basically is. It's just really a large sketch pad where I've just filled up drawings in my spare time and then just keep them to one side. And obviously, I am going to start a t-shirt business, which launches on October the 1st. So some of these might be incorporated into that business down a later line. So, yeah. So really, it was just a case of just showing some sketches, really, some art that's put away.
Oh, and so this is art you've kept over the years, or you've just found it, or this is stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like this one here. This is from Batman Ninja, but that was done in 2018.
Let's have a look. Let me make that one big.
So I know people have seen this a few times and stuff, but that's the actual one. That's the picture of it. It's all done in Indian ink, but again, that was 2018.
Can you talk a little bit of, I mean, I know the process, but can you talk a little bit about the process, like how you start from a blank page to that?
Well, again, it's what you've got in your head. I saw Batman Ninja and I loved it. I was like, this is brilliant. And because of my love of Japanese culture and all that sort of things like this are up my street. So straight away, I'll get an image and I think I want to draw that Joker. So again, scale it all out, basically roundhead scale, put your eyes in. That's what you finish up with.
Amazing.
How
you see? That's
like
the thing.
When so many of your pieces, you've got this texture that's in it.
Yeah. I've always loved that. It's just something I've always. It's for me when I was at college. You pick a format. You got 6 to choose from, and my format was always ink. I love Indian ink. Do you know what I mean? It's the same things I've painted and drawn since I was 15. I love it. And over the years, you pick up certain techniques. And for me, it was always that fascination of how can I get fabric and materials and that sort of thing in ink. How can I make wool look like wool and leather look like leather? And stippling was a technique that I found through college, really. And a lot of it I used in graffiti art. When I used to be a graffiti artist, a lot of that I sort of used in that. But I've always sort of kept with it in my work, So that's the first one.
Right. Well, if you're going to go through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across here, go across there, and then I don't have to keep pressing the button all the time, do I? So that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I would watch a time-lapsed side draw, like not live. Like you just set that up. Like I know Shabby watches Oriental rugs get cleaned on YouTube.
Multiple times.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've watched one of those before. But I would I would watch, at like a sped up, like we're watching you craft that piece, whatever it may be. Just that would be fascinating, even if it's compressed down into.
I mean, many a time I've done live art on live streams and stuff, and I've drawn something live and stuff. But yeah, my brother always says that to me as well. Jamie says you should do time-lapse videos, but the truth is, I don't know how to do it on my phone. That's the truth. I've no idea how to set that up. If I could set it up, I'd do one. It wouldn't bother me.
Well, you just need to install a Claire on your phone.
Yeah, Claire probably should do it.
So who's that side?
That's just a model drawing. It's just a graffiti piece for Batman Ninja. That was done 2014, that one.
Amazing. Scott, I'm really, really sorry, mate. Just come in and come out because the sound's really reverbing. Thanks, buddy.
Well, again, Pete, the same sort of thing for that fabric, same sort of dotting effect. And
yeah, that just blows my mind.
Yeah. And this one here, again, Bram Boland's my favourite ever artist. And, I've loved Bram Boland since being a kid. And for me, he was the greatest artist for Batman. He was the greatest artist as Judge Dredd. And now and again, I like to throw a few honours in for Bram Boland. So this one was a Boland Judge Dredd.
Oh, cool.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Watching these. Brilliant. Watching these two, Pete. Look at that. Even at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, Pete, they're still giving it me. You know, that's brilliant, Si. That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you take your inspiration, basically. So you take your inspiration of certain artists. Like I'll tell you why I say that. When you pick up a picture, the majority, I don't know whether you notice this, Pete, you'll say a name, Brian Bolland, or you'll say Stan Kirby, or you'll say the name as well when you show it. Is that the inspiration for that picture?
I think being a graphic illustrator, which is what I am, my greatest teachers were then comic books. You know, I went to college and did all that, and I passed my GCSE in the 3rd year at school. I was ready for getting all prepared for it. But the greatest teachers I ever had were them comic books. They just were. They just used to astonish me. They astonish me till to this day. And you know how excited people get about movies and Star Wars and new TV shows. I was like that when comic books and graphic novels were released. I couldn't wait to get home and get it open and read it. Do you know what I mean? Study the artwork and then study it again, and study it again, and then I'd pick something out of it and I'd draw it and I'd carry on and on and on and until I had it perfected. And I think, I mean, when I went to college, I studied light and perspective. That's what I actually studied, because it was shadows and it was people's perspective. I didn't want to just draw a man at front face or side face. I wanted to use different, you know, so that's what I actually studied at college.
That's fascinating. And Kieran, where you're talking about the splash of color makes that helmet. I know I can typically expect a splash of color somewhere in your pieces, but it's like you always know where to put it. It's just like the perfect. I'm not kissing your ass because I love you and I'm a straight shooter, but it's always, no matter what you're showing, like you are tonight, it's just like, holy shit, that is cool.
Thanks, Pete.
I mean, like the shine on the helmet where you've left it white and then like stippled red and then it's into red, just to give it that. Oh, a lot. You'll see a lot of touches. A lot of it as well is from my old graffiti art days as well. I still use a lot of influence from them days in my work. Like this one, it's not really, it's a Stormtrooper, but it was done for my MANGAFANDANGA logo, which was actually the same as my tattoo, and which was a Stormtrooper, but done as MANGAFANDANGA.
You used to put that chevron on all your work, didn't you? Or you used to put
it was going to be my logo eventually. It was going to be the logo for the company, but I didn't bother with it in the end. So these. And I remember,
was it you also wrote sign it, or you put the saint emblem in your stuff as well? I remember you doing that.
That's a long time ago. Yeah. Now, like I said, you tag it at the bottom, which I always do, and that was going to be the logo, but I changed my mind.
And all this is original art in its side. This is drawn that you've drawn. These aren't your prints or whatever. These are the ones.
This is all original work. This is all pen and paper. You know, so it's all original.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. This one that's these like again Japanese influence and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. That's ridiculously good. Yeah, it's the shading. How you do that shading is. I wouldn't know where to start. Like I said, it's ridiculous how good it is.
Yeah, so you were talking about hair marking. Hair's one of my favorite things ever to do, and I just love drawing it. You'll notice that with a lot of my work, hair's all over the place. Do you know what I mean?
Kieran says Si is well known for polishing his helmet, Scuba. He's
bing, bing, bing.
Oh, brilliant. I need a handkerchief for that, Pete. That was so beautiful.
PGM, I paid him a lot of money to say that, PGM, so don't spoil it.
I like the way people react when you do a piece for him. When you know, it's funny that because you can see the reactions of everybody. It's like when you did the one for Pete, that GI Joe one. I mean, you're not a GI, you know nothing about GI Joe, so to put the work into that and to do that uniform with the AT and all that sort of stuff, that was pretty impressive. But you also did. I remember Andy's girlfriend you did, and she did her as Joan of Arc with all the armor and all that sort of stuff. You did Rachel as Luke's missus as Boba Fett. Where'd you get these ideas from? Is it just
I've always told Luke I was drawing Luke and it got to the very last second. I'm just about to put Luke in, and I thought, you know what? I know somebody here that Luke would appreciate a lot more than himself. And I just thought, because he always talks about Rachel, doesn't he? He's always talking about, she's his best pal as well as anything else. Yeah. So I thought, I'm going to draw, I didn't tell him or anything. I thought, I'm just going to put Rachel instead of him. And obviously he loved it. And if anybody wants to see it, you'll see it in Luke's video. It's in his room. So, but one day I think we'll do another stream, Mark, where it is just all the portraits I've done of a lot of people in this community, because I have drawn a lot of people, from Chantel to Connor Fuller to Scuba Pete to Brian of Action Figure Reviews. And
Brian's was good. It was as Iron Man, wasn't it, Brian's? I loved Connor's.
Well, I put Iron Man behind him, yeah. Yeah, because he loves Marvel, doesn't he? Yeah.
If you're friends with Connor on Facebook, he has his artwork up. He has his X-Wing up on his Facebook. That's his emblem for it, bless it, which is awesome, man. And it's always nice. Stews as well. You got Stews in the background, and you know, when you did Stews.
Yeah, Georgie asked me, she says, can you draw Stew or something? And I thought, you know what? Everyone likes it. I'm going to do him as Indiana Jones. I'm not going to do him as a Star Wars character, because Georgie said, can you do someone from Star Wars? But I actually thought about it. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'll do him with somebody else. And I think that's what sometimes it comes to you at the last minute, where you just change it, you know. But you know what's right, I suppose. It's like a mechanic. He knows what to do under a bonnet, and a plasterer knows what to do when he gets to your walls, you know. So
and I know what to do when it comes to dancing. So you know,
well, clearly,
let's be honest.
Twinkle
you know
toes.
I mean, you've got a talent there, Si, but I'm like a god with my dancing like talent. Let's be honest, Si.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm surprised Dancing with the Stars, Mark, haven't been on the phone. Seems YouTube sensation, Shabby Geek.
I'm not trying to brag, Si. I'm not trying to brag, but you are right. Yeah, you are. I was like that in school, though, Scuba. You know, you'd have your school discos at school, and I suppose it's like that in every sense of the world. You know, every area of the world, the lads will be over there when you're 14, 15, and the girls be on that side. You ask Si where his brother was, right in the middle, loving it. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't one of those. I was like, yeah, this is me.
You're just pretending it was the Blue Oyster Bar.
Hey, Scuba, do you remember we went to Ashborough and the Blue Oyster Bar was right there? We were laughing our heads off it. We were like, I don't believe it. We found it.
God.
Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely so brilliant.
This one was going to be used for a graffiti piece. It was an Indian, but again, had the MANGAFANDANGA logo on.
Yeah.
What signing?
Oh, that's cool.
It's the little things like what Scuba was saying that you do, like the element of color or the circle behind them or the wanted or the Japanese writing. It's little things like that it's like your signature. Because I don't know about you, Pete. And again, it's hard, isn't it, when we talk about our side, because it sounds like we're dead biased, but you can always tell a piece of size work because of those little things. It's like a signature, isn't it?
Yeah, these are the main colors. I love crimson, I love ink black, and I love pencil. As far as the circle's concerned, behind a lot of my work, there's an artist that I've always loved, and he's called Jim Silk. And when it comes to drawing women, I can guarantee you no one can draw women like Jim Silk. For me, he captures women like nothing I've ever seen. But he did a lot of that because his work was late 60s, 70s. So a lot of the circles and the squares were in his work. And I just love that circle element. So I pinched it when I was a kid and always stuck with it. Do you know what I mean? It was something that I just like to put in my own, you know.
Yeah.
This one was a friend of mine called Stacey. And when I was thinking quite a few years back of launching a t-shirt company through graffiti called Trouble. And a friend of mine called Stacey, she said she'd pose for this picture. So that's actually her. And that was going to be one of the first graffiti images on the t-shirts. But again, never got around to doing it. So this just got put on the back burner.
Wow. So impressive. Amazing, Si. Gab said, Si, you should put all of your beautiful artwork in a book and sell it. And if you use this idea, he wants the first copy for free, which I think makes more sense, don't you, Scoobs? I think
that will get Gab to do you can do the forward.
Yeah, a gazelle, Shabby. That's exactly right, PGM. That's exactly right.
Again, I was a big fan of the old, the 1950s pop work. We saw it on Madison Avenue, and they sold cigarettes, and it was always that sort of Andy Warhol sort of did a lot of it as well.
Yeah.
Well, I just love that sort of work. So that's what
wow. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's funny because your red is so vibrant, but it doesn't take away from the picture. That's ridiculous.
Is I gonna call?
Call me, PGM. Call me.
Why is Shabby losing so many subs?
There's a crap like this.
Brilliant. Kieran says size expert use of crimson on black and white reminds him of Frank Miller's Ronin comics novel series. That
was a great again influence of blacks, reds and whites. You'll have noticed it throughout the years. There's a few Star Wars artists that use it. They've been using it quite a lot lately as well for the sequels and stuff. But I know what he means there by the Ronin. That's a lot of black, red splatter, a lot of darks, a lot of greys. Brilliant.
Look at Guppy up. Look at this. How Keith just woke up in the middle of the night. Am I dreaming? These pictures are amazing, Si. Brilliant. Go back to bed, Keith. His missus is like, Guppy, what are you doing? Go back to bed. Oh man, it's nice to see you, pal. It's lovely to see you. Wizzy said incredible. Gap says wow.
Thank you, Wizzy. Thanks, Gap.
Gap like true.
You like that one?
She's waiting for a pregnancy test result.
Cheers, Pete.
Oh, nice.
Again, this one, Mark, same sort of work. Like I said, a lot of influence graffiti style, but this one's Alice from Disney.
Neat.
And that says Alice in Wonderland.
So what does it say in what, Si?
I think it was Arabic. I can't remember when I did it. It was Arabic or Turkish. I can't remember.
Do you date these, Si?
Yeah, this one was done 4th of the 6th, 2018. So 6 years old.
Has there been anything you've hang on, has there been anything you've started and you've gone forget it? Or do you keep even your mistakes you keep?
Well, again, we can do another stream of that if you want. I've got a stack of work that's half done, never finished, never went back to, started off, scratch work pencils, my James Bond, but I'm just waiting for the new James Bond. That's all I'm waiting for. It drives me mad.
Why? Roger Moore's right there for you to draw, Si. There is no other Bond.
He's already done. He's in there.
You see what I mean, Si? New Bond and we'll all go, yeah, it's good, Si, but it's not Roger Moore. Do you know what I mean? That's what we'll,
Yeah. This one was just for Jungle Poster. It was going to go on a fly around Blackpool, but they shut all the clubs up years back. So it again, one of them things that got put on the back burner and never took off. So well, that was the fly for it.
And that's all Indian.
Again, the hair.
Yeah.
The way it's so wispy. That's cool.
Jungle is massive.
Loving these size, says the lovely Leslie.
Now this again, I don't know, somebody said she was going to be in the Deadpool movie, but I've not seen it yet. But it's one of them cool 70s characters from Marvel that I just absolutely love. Bit like our love for Genmark and things like that back in the day. But the Dazzler, I've always loved the Dazzler.
Oh, look at that. That's so
wow.
So even your wordings, it's not stenciled. You actually do that wording like the Marvel and the Dazzler by hand.
How else do you think of doing it?
Like a stencil, no.
Yeah, like this is real.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I would have thought the reason I say it is because it's so neat and it looked exactly like. So I would have thought, oh, I'd get a stencil, cut out Marvel and do it that. But no, it's all by hand, even the writing.
No, there's no stencils, Mark. No, it's all by hand. Absolutely, the locks all pencil and stake it all down my pen. Remember, I've always said this, and I say this on every art stream. No matter what you're drawing, your pencil is the most important thing you can use. Don't even think about blacking anything until you look at that pencil drawing and think, that's what I want. For me, and I've shown you before this, I'll spend hours penciling, then as soon as my black outline's in, I'll spend the next half an hour rubbing it all out. Do you know what I mean? So I can fill in my black lines, fill in my inks, and I mean, a lot of times there's some that I just leave pure penciled, you know, but yeah, that one's just all black ink, that one. But again, it's off the Marvel comic. It was the cover of the Marvel comic, you know what I mean? And I absolutely loved it, so I just drew it.
That's a good segue, side, because Keith's saying here, one question before he has to go back to sleep. Roughly, how long does it take to create one of those?
That, we'll say this dazzle, it probably took me, I would scale out, I'd probably, the thing is, I like my ink to dry while I'm stippling. So I would say probably 10 hours, roughly, also from start to finish, about 10 hours.
Wow. Cap's going to pass out, he says. Wizzy says he loves it. BGM says hooray for Babe Station.
Pete, we're doing an American show. They don't know about Babe Station in America. They're all good people.
That's a good question. Gilster says, has anyone ever stolen your art, Si?
Yeah, a few times. I've seen my art and pop up on all different places. But you know what? Again, I've drawn all my entire life. I see it as a form of flattery. It's not going to ever end me drawing. Do you know what I mean? Like my t-shirts that are going to be done are only going to be 100 a month. That's it. And they're going to be, so you've got a t-shirt. That means only 99 other people have that t-shirt. If you didn't buy it from Manga Fandanga, you didn't buy that t-shirt. You know, so that's just the way I see it. You put anything out online, if people want it, they can have it. There's nothing you can do. Do you know what I mean? You just got to hope for the best, but it won't stop me drawing. I'll draw every single week. There'll be different designs every single month, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Amazing. Just amazing. It really is.
Always a portrait. This one's Dua Lipa.
Wow. Do you ever send them to the actual people? If you, for example, would you ever send that to her and say, I've drawn this of you? Or put it in on Twitter or Instagram or anything?
No, nothing like that. Just like I said, I saw this image in a magazine. I really liked it. I've just thought I'll draw it because I like the black look of the face and stuff. So it was easy.
But she might hang that in her bath.
I'll show you this.
If you're watching Dua, I know she's like watching this, Mark, off her concert. So if you're watching this, Dua, she's a massive 50 grand.
All right, she's a massive fan of Shabby, so that's what it was.
She's a massive fan, yeah.
Can you do a late one, Shabs? I said, Dua. Do you know what I mean? What can I do? It's just one of those things. So PGM, but Leslie's come out with a belter here, Si. So PGM says, okay, Si, just Pete and the Americans, hooray for Hooters.
I mean, who doesn't like Hooters?
How many of you taught about us about Babe Station? It's like you spread the word, Si. You're like
a get commission from them, shouldn't I? You think they send one of them round?
I mean, when in Rome, you're going to press those
this
3
is another
digits.
friend of mine. She's called Beatrice, but her nickname's B, and she asked for this portrait to be done. So this is so I put the butterfly in because that's what she likes, and her name's B.
So now you give her blue eyes there.
Yeah, sometimes I'll throw, dips of colour in because if eyes are striking, they're striking, aren't they? So, yeah, well, so that was there.
Do you ever get nervous about that? You see, say for example, Scuba said to me, Shabby, I want you to draw me a portrait of me. I'd wet myself. I wouldn't know. Because even if you think it's good, it's like all it takes is somebody to go, I don't look like him. And then I don't know how I'd react.
Hey, listen, I've had it many times. I've had people like, oh, no.
Have you?
I've not got any. Yeah, sometimes I have. Doesn't happen very often, do you know what I mean? And half the time that people have said that about you, know nothing about art. They probably just see somebody different, do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
can't please everyone, you know what I mean?
And again, not to shortchange yourself, Shabby, but your art is done with these graphics on furniture. That's how that's your canvas and how you create. And I'm not art that way at all. Like I sketched long ago, like where Leslie and I had our honeymoon, this cool little place in the Keys.
Hang on, that's our metaphor, is it? When you know what I mean? I'm just making sure when
we're
you sketching.
Look, I've got to go. I've got my pad. No, but that's as art driven as I got was to create that picture, in the first months of our marriage, I'm all.
Yeah. I'm quite lucky though, because it's like my wife is a fabulous painter. She paints.
Right.
And she'll do one night. I never really show my work off. Never. I never. But one night, if we want to do another late one, I might just show some of my shabby geek art furniture that we've made.
Yeah, and you've made some amazing furniture over the years. My favorite you ever did was that years ago, Mark. You made this Wonder Woman one, and oh my god, I'd have killed for it.
Well, all that
was
paint,
so nice, Pete.
See, so all the paint. So it really, I don't want to make it about me, but it presides with what you're talking about. I'm surrounded by artists, you know, like my brother, my kids. I mean, Suki's definitely got yours and her mum's. She's amazing artist, you know, and it's funny that I just like the passion. But my wife has her own business, so if she never picked up a paintbrush again, I don't think she'd be bothered. But to me, I'm like, God, if I could draw like that or could draw like Si, I don't think I'd ever put a paintbrush down or an Indian ink down. Would you, P?
I don't think I could quit it.
No, it's
like what you're telling me, Si, is like that becomes so ingrained in you.
Yeah.
That,
yeah, I agree.
Like you said, if you go a little while without drawing anything, you kind of get a little, you know, twitchy. Like
I do, yeah. That's how I definitely do get that.
All right, so
Redcoat's in the graphics. He'll be the same. He'll be his art. His art's amazing. His pins are amazing.
Yeah,
he'll be exactly the same. If he's not drawing, at least some point, it'll send him a bit twitchy. I'll speak for him. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's happening. But I suppose that's the same with all jobs that you absolutely loved. You know, I mean, Pete, sometimes it's been an absolute struggle. I decided to turn professional at the age of 13. Sometimes it's been hard. Do you know what I mean? Sure. Sometimes I've had no point to lose weight because I've got sod of money to feed myself. And other times it's been really flourishing. You know?
Do you mean stuff like this, which is a left coast pin? I mean, look at that. The artwork is in the box that they've made. And you know
fabulous.
What I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I love these as well. I've kept these. He sent me some, and I kept them on my shelf ever since. And I love that sort of look. You know, this is what I mean by creative people. I think it's fascinating. You know, that people can just come up with an idea and do something about it. But let me just go back to what I was saying before. So if someone said, "Oh no," how do you take that? Because if I did a piece of furniture, or like in your business, Pete, if you think you've done a good job, and someone says, "No, I'm not happy with that," how do you take it? It's hard. It's hard for me.
Hard. Yeah,
it's very hard.
I'm a recovering people pleaser, so it's like, oh,
yeah.
Even now, Mark, you know, showing this work to you and to people, it makes me feel sick as a parrot. It makes me stomach all turn, and I think if that ever wasn't there, my love of it would be gone. Do you know?
Speaking of,
looking at me, Bob, brilliant, Rick. Absolutely, it's lovely to see you, Rick. My background is architecture, so I really appreciate these. Keith's still up. His wife's going to go mad. We'll catch up tomorrow night, guys. Not sure what I'm going to dream about. What should he dream about, Scoobs? What should he dream about?
I think he's going to dream about Si, like he's drawing him, and then he's got this cherry red lipstick that is on, you know, and he's going to wake up like...
I've got a toga on.
No,
you've
seen Keith's dream. I bet he goes, Hammerhead, best me later, Darth Vader.
This one here was one of the well, it was an old original Disney poster which I just drew, put my MANGAFANDANGA logo in.
Very cool.
But I wanted to keep it like old fashioned looking, you know, like it's from the 50s. And again, this one was just a basic t-shirt one.
Oh, that's awesome. So is that why you get so passionate now about Disney? And you get, because I mean, I'll speak for myself, Scuba and Scott. We have all urges, Si. But you look, what I mean is, Si, you look at your artwork and it's very, when you do this sort of thing, it's very Disney-fied the way you do it. So is that why you get so mad now the way it's gone, is because of the love you've had for it?
I suppose so. I don't, I mean, it's nice that, you know, they want to change things up and stuff. But I'm one of old school values. I love old school work. I love 2D animation. I wish that cartoons were still in 2D and stuff. And I know things have to move on. This I'm talking to you now on is a complete computer art tablet for all the drawing. It's got every spec. I've had it a year and a half, and I still have not used it to do any artwork on. I can't bring myself away from a little Indian pot tub. I can't, you know. So I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to use any graphic wise. The best thing to do is just start a retail business off and put these things on t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Question for you, Scuba, right there. You had to draw a picture for your honeymoon, Scuba. What is it?
Oh no, I can't draw.
Oh, my ink's run out.
I need a map.
I might be Banksy. Oh, there you are. Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
So again, a lot of these are just drawn for when I'm like, I'm just bored and just want to draw something.
Just put that up a set, though, Si. It's the eyes I want to look at on that one. The eyes are unbelievable. Look at that.
Yeah, the what was it you were saying about the dots in eyes? There's like a special formula you follow.
For me, it's just always make sure your eyes are lit. Just make sure your eyes have got light in them. If you got your eyes have got light in them, you become alive. You know, so like this, I didn't want eyes in this one because it's not the sort that's lit up. It's Helen Bonham Carter, so I didn't want this lighting up. You know, this one's got to be darker.
Look at that.
So this one's got to be dead-eyed. You know what I mean? So
yeah, crazy good.
Crazy good, Scott. You're exactly right, buddy.
Now I hear Peter Gabriel in my head. In your eyes. Inside draws your eyes.
But then again, I just like drawing things like this as well, like, you know, Lion King and stuff. And
yeah. I mean, that legit looks like something you would see on a poster in the park.
Right.
That's awesome. Kieran says, we English viewers would rather not see Shabby's jaws. Well, everybody's seen Shabby's jaws, let's be honest, Pete. Everybody's seen him. Kieran, oh, look who's come to say hello. Josh and I say hello. Proud owner of a side piece. Josh. Look at that.
Yeah, he is.
What piece does? Oh, yeah, he has it. A picture of Emily. Oh, do you have?
Emily owns Emily's. Andy owns Sars Ventures. So doing the Sars Ventures, and it's at Andy's house. Andy had it on his wall.
That's right. Yeah. Andy, hello, Andy. Gilster says, I have a million ideas, but getting them down is sometimes a struggle. So, well, there's a good point, Si. Does that happen too, where you get like you'll start something and you'll go, no, I'll draw this, or no, I'll draw that.
Many a time. So I was saying before, the amount of, you see, the problem is when you words to your head, all artists will say it. You draw something and you're thinking of the next one, and you're thinking of the next one after that. And sometimes that gets that strong, you have to come away and put something else down.
And is it you've got to start creating that piece right then and there, or is it all right to be on a list that, like, I want to do that?
It depends, really. If it's a deadline, if it's a commission and stuff, I'll always get them finished, and nothing will deter me. Do you know what I mean? It'll take me away, because sometimes I can get more into work than I won't give it 100% what I'm going back to. So if it's a commission, no. Any commission, I will work 110% on. Do you know what I mean? I won't let anything deter me from it. But when I'm drawing for myself, sometimes you do, don't you? Just put it to one side, draw something else. And sometimes I've been known to go back to work 10, 15 years later. Do you know what I mean? To actually go back to something a lot longer than, yeah.
Gaps asks, Si, have you ever drawn Shabby?
I've not drawn any of my family.
Are you laughing at, Scott? You're not like the Mona Lisa of...
I've not drawn any of my family, no.
Got the moaning part.
Any of my brothers or any of their girlfriends. Or I've drawn Claire. I've drawn Claire a few times.
Yeah.
I can't think if I've drawn any of the others. I don't think I have.
Won't be hard really to draw me though, would it? To be honest, I look just like you.
Yeah, I'd say just draw myself.
Just draw yourself. You know what I mean?
That's just all Indian compared to that.
Yeah. Wow. Hang on, let me make you big circum. There you go. Done.
Cool. I can hear him talking. Neat.
You never wanted to change your mind, Si. You never wanted to turn around and go, you know what? I'm not going to do Indian ink this time. I'm going to do something else.
only, like I said, apart from outside of spray cans and Indian ink, very rarely do I drawing anything else. You know, people always say, "Oh, you should do watercolors." You should, I mean, you know, I should do really. I should. I think I'd be quite good at watercoloring. Do you know what I mean? But it's just something I've just never. I just like my own style. I just stuck with it. And I think that's why you said before, people know it's my work because I've always stuck with the same style. Do you know?
Right.
Yeah. You ever looked into this? This is now, besides Gap Side, this is now the second person that said this. Gills has said, definitely make a book side. You never think of making, because you can easily make a book nowadays, can't you, Pete?
Yeah, we're in that day and age where,
yeah.
And we know a few folks who know a little bit about making books.
We've met one or two.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys. Yeah. No, I haven't actually. No, to be fair, I've never thought about it. There was a guy years ago, and he asked me for this work.
Right,
and bless him, he's passed away now. But he asked me for this work, and it was he wanted like the Grim Reaper, but drawing like a pin-up model, and all this red thing on. And when I went round to his house to talk to him about it, he'd got this file out, right? And it was all my work. And what he'd done is he'd checked out all my work and he printed off what he really liked. And he kept it in his own book. So when I got there and he was talking about what commission he wanted to do, and he's like, I want a bit of this one, and then it's got to look like that one. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, so
side
portfolio. It's the only time I've ever seen it like a book.
Weezy said he would draw Si if I was, I mean, would hire Si if I was Disney. Andy says, draw Shabs, he has nice cans.
Now, this is a friend of mine from Preston. She's called Anne Perkins, and this was a portrait of Anne.
Oh, wow.
Stunning.
French ink, mon Dieu.
She's got, she had, at the time, Anne had pink hair, so there's pink touches in that, you know, just only slightly.
Just see it. Now, yeah.
Again, the light's not best in here. It's all these orange lamps and stuff. They're not the best. This is another friend of mine called Tara Rogers.
You got some fit mates. How come your mates are all fit?
Yeah.
Where's the ugly one side? Yeah, she's.
But again, can you see the same sort of graffiti style that I use? I still use it to this day. I can't shake it off.
But you give, it's like the shading down the cheek. You give a definite stuff like that. I still draw circles for hands, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, Si, you've referenced numerous times tonight being a graffiti artist, and by that, for our folks watching or in the chat, by that you mean you're actually being paid to do pieces like on sides of buildings and such for people, right?
Yes and no. I started off as a graffiti artist as a kid, tagging railways, doing all Blackpool underneath the tunnels and stuff. The only paid jobs I've ever done to graffiti have always been inside shops. So I've graffitied barber shops, I've graffitied fashion shops, but never outside as a paid job.
Really?
Never. Yeah, never. It's
Really?
always been inside shops. It's always been there. Yeah, it's never been. Never done any outside. Yeah.
And I asked this or brought it up because there's a dive shop here in the city that is right by the interstate, and the side of it that faces the interstate was notorious for being tagged over and over and over. So what they did was hire a graffiti artist to paint like this big diver mural on it. And I mean, it's gorgeous. And now you go, hey, I didn't know that dive shop was there. But because it's been done by a graffiti artist, you know, the unwritten rule of nobody's going to touch it. Nobody's going to walk up and go.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's graffiti art is something I've just loved since I was a kid. I'll just love it. It's for me. I'd have everywhere graffitied if it was up to me. Do you know what I mean? Every building, every city, and I know there's a lot of complaints about it, but the way it's gone and the way it's out, some of the most beautifulest work you'll ever see is on the streets now. Do you know? I like the way that councils have relaxed to the movement of it, and they're more willing to, like, paint for pieces, brighten up areas, you know, and that sort of thing. And we do it a lot in Blackpool. Blackpool has quite a lot of rundown areas, And the local artists and the local graffiti artists do a lot of that. They spray it on panels and they put the panels up everywhere. So it brightens the place up a lot, you know, and it does.
Yeah,
so
kind of a beautification process.
Yeah, I used to like my YouTube channel when I did my YouTube channel. It was called Obi-Wan Size 75. That's what it was called. I had it in 2009, 2010. And it was all about art and graffiti. Even though I showed my collectible room and all that and everything, this is like 15 years ago now, it was mostly art and graffiti. And what I was thinking of doing is eventually like finding that old footage, because I've still got my old tower. And I thought to get all that old footage, because half these buildings have been knocked down in Blackpool now that have all this graffiti on it. I think they'll be good to see and good to look at.
Yeah. Is that channel still active? And what was that handle again?
No, it's not. No, I changed it to MangaFandanga. It all got changed. Yeah,
because I wanted to see a. Hey, this is Si, and I'm out here.
Gilster said some of my art. Sold some of his art as tattoos. Someone in my town has his art down his arm. Hope to win him. I've got some of your artwork. Wow. You did a card for me at Christmas, and I still got it. It's still in the treasure chest full of notes, and it's full of Gilster's artwork. It's awesome. Oh, look who else has turned up and said hello, Si.
Hi, Cat.
Yeah,
lovely to see you, Cat. I didn't know you knew portrait. Yeah, let's have a look. Scott, can you draw? Are you an artist, Scott?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm the same way. Oh, thank God, Si, thank God.
Is my vocals coming through okay?
Okay, it's in and it just hovers a bit. If you ever see me mute your microphone, that's when you know, but it's fine now.
That's Kylie Jenner.
Wow.
That's before the surgery. Look at that. Wow, that's years old and exciting, that one.
That was 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, Transform.
Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, pal.
Transform.
This is Snow White, but this was the Snow White from Wreck-It Ralph 2. Do you know when they brought all the princesses back in Wreck-It Ralph? Yeah. So that's the Snow White from that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I get a lot of blue touches in that.
Oh, yeah.
So good. And look at the way your nose, it's like a nose is coming out of the page. Just ridiculous how good it is. Up to 20 people. So honestly, for the first time I've ever done a late night stream, thank you all so much. That is awesome of you. Thanks for coming in, saying hello. Brilliant.
That one.
Awesome. Oh, Tom and Jerry.
I like that one a lot. Love Tom and Jerry. Love it.
Yeah, I love that little mouse. I love drawing him. He's great. Isn't
And it's knowing that he'll win.
Doodle one.
Win says he's not offended, Si. He said he's not offended by the colourful graffiti. He agrees with you. It really does add a lot of colour to places.
It does, but I'll tell you a story. I remember once the first time I ever went to Germany, and we went on to Austria, and we're in this little town, and it was like Hansel and Gretel. Everywhere's beautiful and looks like little castles and stuff, and it was a right fairy tale land. But there was graffiti everywhere, and if there's one place that it stuck out like a sore thumb, was this place there. I can't remember the place where it was, but I was so gobsmacked, like, because it looked like stickers on walls. It looked like they'd been stuck on because the walls were so old and fairy tale landy that it just didn't look right. It was so strange. That's the only time I've ever gone, ooh, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Because it was so beautiful as it was, you know.
So Win said he used to draw a lot as a kid, but he doesn't have the time nowadays. He's gone a bit rusty. I think that's what it is with me. I think I wouldn't know where to start now. And if I did, I'd probably my mindset would go straight back to when I was about 15 doing the doodles and that kind of thing. I don't think it, Scuba Side channel is black and white and silent movie style.
Oh, well, that's something like that.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Wow.
That is awesome. Can you excuse me for 1 sec? I'm not going to go anywhere. My youngest son's put the TV on in the front room and he's blaring. I know. I'll only be a sec.
What's he watching? Godzilla?
All I can hear is Kung Fu Panda coming out of the front room.
Bless him.
It's another portrait, Pete. This is another friend of mine called Rebecca. It's the name of the graffiti art.
Now, are these friends that you still see around town or stay in contact with?
Sort of. Some are, some aren't. Some of them they were supposed to go to, I've not heard from them. Never got picked up. They were supposed to meet up. Just all sorts of different things over the years, you know. So this one was just again another drawing, but I like the Hello Kitty on it.
You're giving the finger. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
I just thought it was funny to just draw it like that.
You're taken in by the bigger image of Hello Kitty, and then
yeah.
So I walk in the full room and he goes, "Hey, Dad, you want to watch Kung Fu Panda?" No. Do you want to watch Kung Fu Panda? No, that's all right.
It's a good show.
Not bad. Yeah, the new one, the fourth one's just come out on it, and he's watched it about 3 or 4 times. So, sorry, let's see where we're getting up to. Si, you're such an amazing artist. I still get many compliments on my Ahsoka you did. Yeah, you did. That's right. And Jen did an Ahsoka for a friend of Pulse Collectibles too. So that's 2 members of my family that's done Ahsoka pictures. That's amazing.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? The original Tom and Jerry was.
Yeah. No, I've got them on. Or have I?
Talking about the new Beetlejuice film, this is a drawing I did in 2016, and it was Lydia Dietz from Beetlejuice, but again, it says Lydia in Japanese.
Wow.
I'm excited for that movie. That the trailers, it's like exactly how you would want a second.
Yeah. Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this one, I think we've all seen this film.
Ooh. Like that one too.
It's that scene in Pulp Fiction. No, she's not.
Yep.
Say, God damn.
Gab's got a good size. Gab's got a question for you, mate. He said, "What art do you hang on your wall, Si? Do you have your own work? Yeah, you have one in the back, Si. That Disney one in the back for
Mum.
But
that's my mum. Belongs to my mum. It's the one that you see behind me on most of the. That's my mum's. It's not actually mine. I don't really like having my art up. I like other people's art, and it annoys me when we go to these cons and people say to me, "Oh, you could draw that." You know, when you go down Artist Alley, and I'm like, "Yeah, but can I not appreciate all the brilliant, fantastic art?"
Yeah.
I only draw a certain way. I'm not the world's greatest artist by a long shot, and you will never get a Renaissance painting out of me. So sometimes when I see these oils and I see these acrylics and these watercolors that some of these can actually do, it's mind blowing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Cherries.
I tell you that.
I'm eating it up.
Again, this one here, it's always been one of my favorite ever characters of all time, and I was so happy with that NECA figure when it came out. But again, I love the Bride of Frankenstein. It's like
that is my favorite picture. I have asked for that picture for years. I love that picture, and I'm not even a fan of her. We made a Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein piece of furniture, and I loved it and so forth. But it was very, very hard to get pictures of her. Very hard. Do you see what I mean? So when you drew that, I thought, "Oh, you bastards!" So good, Simon. You've got a question, pal, of our cat. She said, "Si, what is the hardest picture you've drawn, and what is your favorite piece?" What a great question.
Oh, favorite piece, as in my own piece, or as in others' pieces? The hardest picture I've ever drawn was a friend of mine. Well, he's a friend of my brother's, Richard's. He's called Graham, and he wanted a scene from The Witcher. And apparently, in this film, in the show The Witcher, they have this boat, and on the back of this boat, there's a big pub built in, this big galleon pub. And he wanted a scene doing with all the characters, his whole galleon. I've got a picture of it. I'll have to fish it out and find it.
Fish it out.
And that was a really big piece. And no, it's not. It's been long sold. And yeah, that was the hardest I've ever done. That because it was all the wood grain and the little lights, and you know, when you think of a pub ship, a galleon, and you've got to put all them beams in, and that was hard. But again, I love doing it, and I fished that picture out. It's quite a large one.
And what's your favourite, Si?
What's my favorite? I don't think I have a favorite of my own. Like I said, you know, because you're doing it every year, you're doing it every decade. So my favorite could be in the next 10 years, 5 years, you know. So,
well, what's one that stands out to you then, Si, that you're impressed with, that you thought, yeah, that came out awesome?
well, there's a lot. There's a lot of them. Again, I'll get some pictures of the shops I've done, because some of them have come out with such a large scale on walls. Some of them have come out where I've gone, "Ooh, I pulled that off." No.
Wizzy says that Frankenstein picture is beautiful. Love the classics. PGM says, all kidding aside, Si, you are a wonderful artist, mate. He is PGM. We know you're only joking, buddy.
I've got a good one for you, Si. I've got a good question for you.
Oh, here we go.
How difficult is it for you when somebody asks you to do a commission in the theme that they ask you to, but it's something that you don't really follow and or don't care for? Is it difficult to do that type of drawing for someone?
No. The reason being, Scott, is that when you're drawing, you're drawing. So it doesn't matter what you're drawing. You're still drawing circles, shapes, triangles, rectangles. You're still drawing eyes. You're still drawing heads. So for me, I don't see it as, I'm not into it. If I find a drawing hard to do, I get more into it, stupid enough, because I'm finding it a challenge, you know. But no, I see every single drawing exactly the same. Everyone.
Okay.
Take care, Win. Cheers, Q. What's the franchise you haven't done yet?
Not many. Can't see it. There's a lot of anime that I haven't even touched the surface of. But again, look how much anime there is. This is loads and loads,
wide
and loads,
and varied.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the sequels in Star Wars, but I still try and keep up with today's modern Star Wars, today's sort of modern thing. And yeah, it's funny, isn't it? If you don't sort of keep up with stuff like that, you can slip behind. I mean, I am getting to the age of 50, and I don't want to be like what the kids.
Which is weird, because I'm
not.
You know, that's weird side that you are, because I'm obviously not. So that's a strange one.
I'm hip.
But again, yeah, probably a lot of Disney fans, but that was for a Manga Fandanga t-shirt. That's why it starts to say Manga Fandanga, and it's just going to be printed like that. So
Cap's got a good question. Si, have you ever drawn Jerry Anderson art? Oh, I bet that'd be awesome.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I've had a few commissions from Jerry Anderson. Yeah, I've had Thunderbird 1,
Stingray.
Yeah, quite a few. I suppose living in the UK, you get that. Doctor Who I've drawn a lot of, and yeah, I've never done Space 1999. I'd like to do something from that. I'd like to do a blend of faces in that. Yeah,
Martin Landau.
God, you go down that street, you've got Blake 7, you've got Buck Rogers, you've got Doctor Who, you've got bloody all sorts back then, haven't you? If you go down there, that route, wow.
Yeah,
that's a rich,
yeah, it is. Yeah, that's deep into sci-fi. That's going all that way.
I like that sort of stuff. Do you know? I like that sort of deep stuff. And
see you, Win. Thanks for staying up, buddy. We really appreciate it, man. I know it's
cheers, man.
4 o'clock in the morning over there. So thanks, pal. That's really nice of you.
I don't really normally draw in the blues.
Holy cow!
Wow, love it.
Nozda.
Look at it. Yeah. Again, there's one of Claire. You'll probably recognise her, Pete.
Oh yeah.
But Claire, she loves Harry Potter, so that's why all this is Harry Potter influenced, you know, because she's a big fan of Harry Potter.
Gorgeous.
Si, tell everybody where the name Manga Fandanga came from. Where did that come from?
It's simple, really. I've always loved anime, and I've always loved manga, and Fandanga rhyme with it. That's it.
I love the way BOE says it.
Well, I was up with it, right? Because in the beginning, people found it really hard to say for some reason. They found it a struggle saying Manga Fandanga. But once they got it, they always said it. So I thought, I'm sticking with that. Because people find it hard to say, but once they say it, they don't forget it. Mm-hmm. They like to say the words Manga Fandanga. So it just stuck. It's just something that I've always I've stuck with now for about 15 years. You know,
supercalifragilistic.
Yeah,
it's just fun to say.
Yeah. I remember BOE being on Salacious and he went, "Yeah, I was walking around a celebration with Scuba Mangafanga Danga Danga Banga."
He made it like that long. It was awesome.
Brilliant.
I mean, this one I've just shown this week. That's been shown this week. So that was the header up for, but this is the first T-shirt that's going to be done. So that's what's been shown this week.
Wow,
cool.
So we've discussed this before. But have you made your mind up what you're doing about your T-shirts? Because you're talking about putting them on a pocket, but then putting them in the middle. And
yeah, it's just going to be one side on the side, on one breasted side. Manga Fandanga written in Sindel at the back, right across the bottom large. And it's a really nice cotton T-shirt. I hate cheap crap. So there's no way my T-shirts will be cheap. No chance.
I bet you could draw an awesome Catherine Schnell as Maya from Series 2 of Space 1999 side. Kieran getting his commission in, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice to do.
Question, Si, are you available to come over to help me with a mural in my bathroom? Lo, we need to take turn drawing characters. Well, you can draw yourself, though, Cat. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Fancy a trip to Cat Scuba? Should we go to Colorado with Si?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
I've never been to Colorado. Let's
go.
Wow.
That's awesome.
See, look at it's like the dress is sparkling, but you know it's not. Is that what you meant before, Pete, about the little dots and so forth?
Exactly. Yeah. It's you know that's not actually doing it, but your brain's like, oh, it's sequined.
Fantastic. Yeah. Side question for you. Do you ever draw pictures of ships or space or backgrounds? That's a good point. I know you've drawn speeder bikes. I know that sort of thing. And I know you sent Reynolds what was it called? The Switchblade from is it Switchblade from Mask? The one that the helicopter, Pete. Was that what it was called? Switchblade.
Oh, yeah, Switchblade. Yep.
Yeah, you drew that for Reynolds, and that was awesome. That looked really cool.
Yeah. Again, these are pictures that I just like to draw. That are just they're not commissions. They're just me drawing. So to put 100% and draw all backgrounds and things like that when I'm just basically practicing my hand flying through them. There's some that have backgrounds in ears and some don't. Obviously, when it comes to commissions, it's what actually people want. So if they want anything with backgrounds and guns and all that, yeah, great.
PGM asks, have we done anything like Nickelback? He's PGM.
Nickelback, the band.
He's saying New Zealand now, Scott, laughing his bollocks off about that. Like it was like, you know.
He's got some good singers tonight.
Oh, I tell you, brilliant. Trouble. Yeah. Hi, Gilster says, ever thought of doing your own movie poster, like Bunch of Faces, your own Star Wars and more? What a great question. You've done that. You did the 80s one. Did you ever finish that 80s one?
No,
no,
no, I haven't got around to doing it. No, again, commissions, other stuff coming the way, don't we? So
good old Laxy, yeah. I called like yesterday, and I was saying hello to him and so forth on his live stream, and he couldn't get his he couldn't get his messages up, you know, his comments up on his thing, and he's pressing his button and he's doing all this. But I left a like for you, I watched it for 10 minutes, left a like for you. But nice to see you, pal. Okay. Shabby Scuba, King Si and Hawk. Nice, Scott. Nice. I like it. Great teenage night. Just a good picture, not you personally.
Whoa. Oh, that is cool with Skeletor. Bonehead.
Oh, yeah.
I don't look like that in my Skeletor t-shirt. I know that.
No.
Oh, God.
Nobody would draw me.
He's sounding so deflated, Pete. No, you don't, Shams.
I'm taking it back.
Reading that inside. No, you don't. Brilliant, Pete.
Or me.
Brilliant. Oh.
And for me, this the second best Catwoman there's ever been.
Julie Newmar.
Wow. Julie Newmar, Catwoman.
She was gorgeous. She was absolutely gorgeous. What a looker she was.
Yeah, real.
The lack button.
Real fire right there.
Yeah.
Oh, listen what Lack said. Si did the design, the back of the American nickel, but that's the closest nickel back.
That's right, Matt.
Kat says, do you ever get asked to draw something you absolutely hate doing? And if so, do you charge them more? That's a good question.
No, again, like I said to Scott before, Kat, I put 100% in things like that. If anybody's ever asked me to do anything, and you know, sometimes things have been a bit like they want this doing, that doing, they want it all painting, and then I have to stop them. And I always say, listen, you've come for me because my art's all the same. I'm a graphic illustrator. I work in Indian ink. I work in pencils. Other than that, it's a spray piece, which that's just nothing to do with my art pieces, really. So if they're happy with that, and that's the sort of work they want, that's what we go ahead with, you know. So
what I do with my furniture is when someone asks for a Star Wars piece, I always turn around and say, well, what Star Wars piece would you like? You know, because there's so many, there's Clone Wars, Rebels, sequels, prequels, blah, blah, blah. But I hate it when people start sending me pictures of what they want. It annoys me because I'm like, unless it's a PAL, do you know what I mean? Unless it's a commission like off a PAL, because then you realize, you know what I mean? But it's like when people say, oh, well, I've decided I want this on the top. And you're like, well, I understand, but you've asked me to do it this way. Or when I've half done something and they go, oh, I've changed my mind. And I'm like, what? They're France. Do you know what I mean?
It's taking away your artistry.
It's just, you know.
And as a patron, as somebody who has bought a piece from me, I would never, ever, like, no way.
Well, let's do that coffee table you've got, for example. You go through it with your customer. You make sure before you start, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm thinking of. This is what, and it gives you the opportunity. But the worst is when you'll start a piece, and I don't know if it's the same for you, Si, and you'll draw something or I'll make something, and then they'll go, oh, me and my husband were thinking last night of this. And you're like, oh man, I'm halfway through it, you know. Like, and for me, it's dead hard work that, because you know you've got to scrape everything off, sand it all down, start again. But do you ever get like that, Si? If someone turns around and says, well, I like it, but I wanted her in a blue dress instead of a red dress or something. Do you ever get something like that? No,
because when people want commissions, I draw it all out in pencil first, and then once it's completely finished in pencil, then I'll send them that picture and I'll say, are you happy with that? And if there's anything they want changing at the last minute, they can have changed. Do you know what I mean? After that, 9 times out of 10, people trust me for what I'm doing, and they just say, crack on. Do you know what I mean? And most of them are always happy with the end result. So, you know, but people can change their mind. But there is a point, once your ink's on, you can't change the mind. Do you know what I mean? You can't rub ink out. You can't get rid of it. You can go around it and overcover it. But, you know, it's very rare that ever happens, if you'll have me, because I'll make sure this is how it's going to look before it's inked, and you just say or they say no.
Yeah, like himself says he never put restraints on an artist, and he's right, isn't he, in a way?
Listen, I've always said it, I'm not the greatest artist in the world. I'm not by a long shot, and I never blow my own trumpet, and I'll never sit here thinking, oh yeah, I'm this, that, and whatever. And absolutely not. It's just something I love to do, and fortunately I can do for a living, and that's basically as much as I like to blow smoke.
I'm glad you said that, because I got a message of Scott before saying Si's work is shit, and I'm like, listen, let's just go along with it.
It was in the private chat.
Hello.
Yo.
What's happening, guys?
Hang on, let me just make you biggest. You having a party?
Yeah.
Look at these.
Pants party, and you're coming.
2 live crew.
Dude, we're looking at all the size artwork, and things are getting hot in here. Yeah. So Josh is about to hit a shot here.
Oh, let's hit a shot.
This is what we're doing while we're watching you guys. And we got you on the screen over there.
You guys,
nice.
In the UK,
you guys call this GOF? GOF?
Whack an egg.
We call it shite. That's what we call it.
Call it whack an egg.
Just a little approach wedge here.
Right, here we go. Let's have a look.
Josh, Cinderella story. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, it's so short. So short.
Greenskeeper to golfer.
Landed in the water.
Hello,
hey, just wanted to pop on real quick and say I'm a proud owner of a Cy Richardson exclusive Asajj Ventress, and it holds a nice little spot in my Star Wars room, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, we love you two boys. Thanks for coming in. You're awesome, both of you. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot
for having us in. We'll leave now.
So good to see you guys.
We got to finish this round 17 under. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Beer a hole in the basement.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Cheers,
All right,
boys.
see you guys.
See ya.
Thanks very much.
Hello, Jeffers. Can
Jeff,
you hear
are
us,
you
Jeff?
muted? He's
He
muted.
does that every time, Pete. Every time.
I didn't have my mic turned on.
Oh, brilliant.
How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. How's it going?
All right, yeah. Si's showing some. I mean, he's blown us away in a way, and he lads really. Scott, Scoobs, everyone in the chat. I mean, it's just ridiculous how good his artwork is. It's just sickening how good it is.
He does have a certain focus, doesn't he?
He sure does, pal. He sure does.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Here we go. Shabby, you could do a chest with a chest like a bar of drawers and the bottom of drawers on drawers. I have no idea. On a short golf, I thought we were doing a shot. Well, same type of thing with them too.
We could do that.
Honest. That's a safer bet, Lack. It's in the hole.
That's the thing, though, Si, about American houses. That's in his house. that's
the basement.
You know, brilliant.
I'll say one thing. Growing up in the UK, we never had this show, but being a big fan of hip hop ever since being a young kid, it's always a show that I've always known about. So I drew this in honor of it, which was for the Soul Train.
Soul Train.
We only got Soul Train here.
Nice.
Soul Train dance.
For that.
Si, would I be right in saying the only time we saw Soul Train was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah, it was a show that like I knew about it and stuff because, like I said, my love of hip hop because we never got that show, you know. So when the Fresh Prince used to do jokes and stuff, we got them because we knew what Soul Train was, you know.
That's what always came on after cartoons were done on Saturday, like Soul Train. You're like, okay,
and this
cool.
was a character I always loved, and it was the horse from Rapunzel. I absolutely love that horse. That horse was really funny.
That's the funniest character. I think that's the funniest character in a Disney cartoon in years.
Yeah, he's really funny.
He's so indignant.
I got inspired to draw that horse because he was so funny, wasn't he?
The banter between the horse and the main character guy made that movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Leslie, I will do that.
Hello, Jeff. Says our lack.
Hey, everybody.
And Jeff, you're not a slouch either in the art column.
I don't do illustration work for a living. I used to years ago. That's what I got my training in. But I'm trying to dabble. I do graphic design and web design for a living. But I don't have the nuts to do it like Si does and go full on my own to do it because I don't know, man. That's pretty damn cool that you can do that.
Don't sell yourself short. That little OnlyFans project has went huge.
No problem, Rafi. No problem.
We've got a message off Vader's Ghost. He said, Rafi says hi. So hi, Rafi. Hi, Rafi.
Hi, Rafi.
And he said, thank you for my mum's picture and my Mecha Godzilla sign.
Nice. No problem, Rafi. No.
Nice.
You look after your mum.
Yeah, Jeff Barker's getting a lot of love in here tonight.
Yes.
Look at this.
Damn.
Well, that's the thing, Jeff. You know, I had no choice, me. It was either do or die. I had no choice. Nothing was taken off. I was never interested in anything else. Like I said before, I was getting fired. I was leaving jobs. I walked out. I just couldn't do that sort of job.
He was eating mushrooms on the job.
Because he had the worst attitude in the world, right? If someone would have turned around to you 5 minutes late, he'd walk out. If someone looked at him the wrong way, he'd walk out. Don't let him kid you like, I put a week's work in and I just had
because I was never happy. All I wanted to do was draw. I was never happy.
I tell you what, I mean, you're kind of walking the best of both worlds because in the art world, you're either on the commercial art side or you're on the fine art side. But as an illustrator, you can kind of do both and be your own boss. And Si's got the best of that going because I'm full on in the corporate side. I work for a large corporation and I have to deal with a lot of crap, corporate crap that Si doesn't have to deal with, and you can still be as creative as you want to be in the.
I believe it's pronounced crape.
Crape. And so Si, you're doing it right. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's do or die for me. You know, we didn't have the money growing up. I didn't go to any posh fancy art school. Everything I ever taught was from every single comic book I ever read. Do you know? And then as I got older, just little things in my life. It was comic books as a kid, and then it was a Killing Joke when I got to my teens, and it was just that. Then Frank Miller came along, and then all of a sudden, with Chris Claremont's, and I read all your Dennis O'Neill's, and
Jim
that
Lee.
was good. I was addicted, you know. And then I'm looking at Jim Steranko's work in Marvel, and my arse is blowing off because I'm like, how the hell is this guy draw the cosmos in ink like he does? And I studied that work like you would never believe. Do you know what I mean?
I did the same thing. I was doing tons of comic book illustration work on my own, trying to develop my own style. Did you ever try to get an artist rep?
No, never.
Find work for you?
No, never. Again, when I go back to that, Jeff, before from the Dazzle, again, that sort of background is, I was obsessed by Jim Steranko, so I tried my best to slip all that Jim Steranko work, especially for the Cosmos.
Yeah, I really got into the D&D illustration work that was done for like Dragonlance comics and the books, and a lot of the paintings for D&D work, like Larry Elmore and Keith Parkinson and stuff. I really got into that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them sort of fantasy artists, from your Boris Vallejo's to your Chris Moore's, you blow your ass off. Do you know what I mean? And that sort of work that's still in minds to this day. And, do you know, and for that sort of work, no chance. You're never going to get that out of me. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely no chance. But
did you ever think about going full color, like an acrylic painter or anything like that, or gouache or something like that?
Again, Jeff, if it's a commission that people have asked for and they want colour, they get colour. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously if that's what they want and that's what they get. But this is just sketch work. This is just work I draw just to keep to the side and just to keep my hand going. So there's not really I mean, things like there's a lot of reds and stuff, you know, like things like that. But
you have a definite style with your red background circles a lot. It's awesome. It's cool framing.
You really could do a coffee table book with these.
It's funny though. You go on about Batman and DC and Marvel and you Judge Dredd and all that sort of stuff, but it's funny how much Disney's influenced you. Like I said before, it's funny that you know what I mean. You have been influenced a lot by that sort of look, Si.
For me, Disney were always the cleanest. Their outline work was impeccable. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where my love of. I mean, as a really young kid, I hated anime as a really young kid because it wasn't in that bold outline style of like Masters of the Universe or how Disney were drawn. But over time, you start to appreciate that the Japanese, the Chinese, they'll take that little bit longer to where if a guy's smoking, they'll draw the ashtray. They'll draw everything to it from there to there. And that's what I appreciated, the extra added detail and the work that goes into it is just amazing. But yeah, as a kid, I was never a fan. But I was perversely like, because I love things like Battle of the Planets and I love things like Ulysses 31. Even the Thundercats, you know, it was all anime. And yeah, I did, but I just didn't realise. Too young.
Did you ever get Ulysses in America? Did you ever get it?
I don't remember.
Right. Well, you've got to do the same thing that I've done. I've watched G.I. Joe cartoons. I'm up to episode 49, by the way. I just thought I'd let you all know that.
God, you're going.
Honestly, I absolutely love it. But you have got to find Ulysses. It's a French cartoon, and it is.
I think I've heard of it.
From the
31. Brilliant.
Heard of it.
Oh, Scott. If you like Battle of the Planets and you like that sort of stuff, you'll love Ulysses. You'll love it.
Looking back, though, it was a little bit more modern. I thought a bit not modern. That's the wrong word. Si, a bit more adult for kids. Yeah. It was done in a very.
I think Beatrix Potter was once asked, "Why do you write your books are graphic for children?" And she went, "The children, they don't, you know what I mean? They're used to it in a sense of, you know, it's only adults that sort of cotton that sort of thing." And I think a lot of our upbringing was like, it was more aimed at a family than it was you. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, there would be tones in it for your dad and stuff like that. And
you know,
that's just the way it was.
A big influence for me was, speaking of more of adult cartoons, was Johnny Quest cartoons.
Oh yeah,
Johnny Quest was brilliant.
I don't think I ever saw Johnny Quest.
Oh, Shabby, you should watch those next and try. They're hard to kind of find. I think I might have the DVDs of them still, but they had a box set that came out about 10, 15 years ago. I think I still have, but
was it Cat or somebody said Johnny Quest this week. It was one of, who was it, Si? Was it Cat or was it somebody else?
I was talking about it in our chat. I was talking about it in our chat a little bit too earlier.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Somebody was talking about Johnny Quest. It was on a live stream just this week recently. Yeah. And I thought, I don't think I've ever seen Johnny Quest. So
you would love it. It's from the 60s. But it's very adult oriented. It was only one season, but you know, they're just amazingly drawn. The artwork on and the animation is really good.
Did they make a movie of it? I'm thinking of a movie. Did they make a movie?
They did a movie that was not very good, and they did a revival of it years ago that was just okay for just a little while, like on Cartoon Network and stuff. But the original 60s ones are what's absolutely amazing. The first episodes were amazing.
81, 82. Okay.
Okay. As soon as you hear that soundtrack, you'll be hearing that. You'll be singing that theme tune non-stop. As soon as you hear it.
Ulysses. It's a proper rocker. Yeah, I'm not going to
proper soundtrack. Yeah, the intro for that is amazing.
Okay, here we go. Is Jeff Barker wearing Clubhouse Ray-Ban frames? I have a bet to settle. There we go. So let's make it big.
They are Ray-Bans. Yes.
There you go, Lack. So I hope you've backed it. So you've won. But Jeff, as you at the art thing a couple of months back, you got banged into it again. Have you got that piece that you drew, Jeff? We'll show it if you've got it.
Yeah. Let me turn the light on here. It's actually hanging right here. But easy enough to pull off the wall. Yeah, I found a bolt, a fabric bolt, and drew Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
That's so
cool. Dude. Yeah, I like that. Come on now.
Yeah, so painted the eyes with white.
You got inspired a couple of months ago, didn't you? And started drawing again.
Yeah, so I've got a few things. I mean, there's a few items here.
Now he's beating up little old ladies at the craft store. Give me that bolt, you old.
I used to do a lot of.
Goes, I'd like 1,600 yards, please, so he could have the bolt. You know.
I used to do a lot of technical illustrations, so it was stuff like this.
That's drawn.
Yeah, that's painting. That's a gouache painting.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Like a photograph.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a photograph.
Yeah. So I really, what I wanted to do was be a full-time illustrator in the automotive industry or aviation and do automotive illustration work. And I did a little bit younger on. It just never really worked out. Mm-hmm. I lived in the wrong state for it. I needed to be down in California for it.
But that's the thing. You see Greg and Gianni's work, and you see our size and yours. I like that everybody's got different looks. Yeah. Everything's like you're like, wow, look at that, wow, look at that. But it's different artwork. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love all that stuff. I think.
Well, I love that Si can do it so fast too. I take hours upon hours to get through stuff because I do a lot of pen and ink cross hatching, so it's a lot of. But you're doing washes and stuff, Si, and they look amazing. But you've got more speed than I do.
Okay, it's just if I was filling something in fully, it just all depends what you're drawing. All depends what you're doing. That's all it is. You know, it's sometimes pieces can take weeks, sometimes it can take a couple of hours.
I use these a lot. Technical pens.
Mm. Yeah.
So a lot of fine tip nib work, so but I haven't done I kind of, it's weird when you're at work all day long. For me, I'm at work trying to be creative all day long in the technical field doing web design work. It's hard for me to come home and have the mental energy to get up and sit down and draw stuff for fun. So it's kind of tough.
I'm sorry, I'm hung up on fine tip nibbler.
Fine tip.
Grow up, Scuba.
This is another friend of mine. She's called Lorena, and she loves Nightmare Before Christmas. So.
Si doesn't know a homely friend at all. All your friends are models.
I know. Size pulling. Holy shit.
Jeez.
Wow.
Does anyone know this? Has anyone seen Fritz the Cat, but who remembers Heavy Traffic? Do you know that, Scoobs or Scott?
I don't know Heavy. I know Fritz, but not Heavy.
Fritz the cat, I remember. He was the black cat one. They did clocks on and so forth. Was that Fritz the cat?
Heavy
A
traffic.
jet
Educate
black
us,
cat.
Lack.
But the heavy traffic, no, I don't remember that at all. Like, no.
Mm-mm.
Oh, look who's
No.
here. Look who's graced
Hey,
us, Mr. Matthews Collection.
Matthew?
Hi, Matt. Nice to see you, pal. Let's have a look. He's saying hello to everybody, which is awesome. PGM says Shabby takes ages on his hair and toupee. That's art. That's, well, listen.
I don't know what that means.
It's because I wear a wig, apparently, Jeffers. I wear a wig, apparently. So,
Oh, yeah.
no, this is
Do you wear
it wobbles.
Yeah.
it's one of the.
Is it a merkin? What are you wearing?
Got anything else side to show us, Bubba?
Yeah, well, I'll show a couple now and then we'll leave the rest because we're not even halfway through. So we'll do another show a bit in the future and stuff. But I've got this one. This is from a manga called ER Hospital. And that was just from that.
Hello, nurse.
Just trying to rear up.
I like that.
Wow.
That is awesome, Si. Awesome.
This one again, this is probably going to end up on a t-shirt. So again, it just one of them one that I think just catches your eyes.
Wow. Did you already show the Wednesday one?
The Wednesday one.
The Addams Family Wednesday one you did?
Oh, I don't know if that one's in here, Jeff. Like you said, this one was upstairs in me old. I don't think it's in here. That one.
Oh, it's so good.
One.
I love that you've got a cartoon style that's fairly realistic, yet it's just tweaked enough with just enough exaggeration to know it's a cartoon style. So the faces, but the faces are very recognizable.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
What was that last one? Damn Moana? Was that the last one you showed?
Which one was that, Scott? Sorry.
That last
Right,
one you
Kieran?
showed, was that
I think
Moana?
not.
Yeah. That's the quote of the night. All of Si's girlfriends resemble Babe Station. Coincidence? I don't think so.
Listen, if you look at these portraits, if you go on my Facebook, you'll see them on there. There's friends of mine, and then you can see if they look like them or not.
Fritz the Cat was a cartoon movie, very adult and a bit too naughty, but Heavy Traffic was an adult cartoon film that was pure art. Right, got it.
The one I showed before, that Jungle List that was supposed to be going on the flyer, there was 2 versions of that done, so they could choose which one they wanted. That one was chosen, even though it was never used, but that was the other one that was done for it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Another homely girl. That's awesome. Guys, I'll be right back. My dog needs to go outside. And that's not
okay.
Oh, the bloody dogs, I'll tell you.
That's not a euphemism.
But yeah, Mark, we'll call it a day there, really, because like I said, there's still another half to go through, so I'll save that for another time, you know. You don't think the other ones to completely go through, so.
Well, we've got about 20 minutes left if you want to. What do you want to talk about for 20 minutes? What should we chat about?
Whatever you want.
Don't all speak at once.
I want to put these away.
So, Scott, you said you were on the hunt today, but you got shut out?
Yesterday, we were out of town. We had to go, 2 hours away to a birthday party for Carly in godforsaken desert. And so there was an opportunity to hit a couple Walmarts and a couple of Targets and just flatlined. Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Weird, isn't it? It's weird. I went into Ollie's and Ross because I kept seeing Rob and everybody putting pictures up of I really need that cover girl. And I think it was you that said it.
They're coming in the Ross, so if I see it, I'll grab it for you.
Oh,
I mean, no
I
problem.
need to grab that because we were at Joe Fest for it, and the cheapest one I found there was $40, and that was upstairs in the swap meet. And I was like, how come this figure's so expensive?
And it shouldn't
be. So I thought, I mean, I had the money to buy it, but I thought I'd rather not because I know I can get that for $20, $25. You know what I mean? And then when you said they were in Ross, I thought, oh man, I'll fly in. But no, nothing. I didn't see anything there. Christmas was the best time for me at Ross. Christmas was brilliant.
I'll be hitting up Ross a little more, but you know, I was specifically going hunting for those 2 Motus and the damn Warbird at Target, and those ones were because I can't say that they didn't have any good stuff, but I wasn't out just to grab. You know, it's when I'm looking for specifics, I'm kind of not just out to spend my money. You know what I mean?
Got you. Wizzy's got a question for you, Si. Si, can you draw dogs?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Draw many dogs. Yeah. Yes, I can, Wiz. Yeah.
Oh God!
Hang on, there's very specific knowledge there, Peter. Let's have a look. T3 Collects just found Cover Girl at his local. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'll go to Wally's. I'll go again this week. But that was an hard one to find. But and then you're right here, like they're in Northern Cali, and you're exactly right there because, like I said, we're on the East Coast, and I don't see him right there. And then he says, right, Kieran, and then Wax says, dog commission can come in. Yep, Si, you're gonna have to fiddle with dogs, mate. You're gonna have to fiddle with dogs. So
no problem at all whatsoever. I can do that, Wiz. If you want your dog drawing, I can do it. I've drawn a couple of dogs before in the past and stuff. I don't really like that. It's not that I don't like. Again, it's just there's a lot.
You have drawn a dog. What was that dog you did draw? You have drawn one. Definitely.
I've drawn a few. I've drawn a few dogs back, but again, when the commissions they go, so I can never remember. I have drawn a few dogs, yeah.
Awesome, man. So how does it feel, Jeff and Scott? Because I've already asked Scuba this, doing an actual stream at a decent hour for us lot for once.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's nice to finally be able to participate, you know. Us West Coasters, we're hurting when we're working. We come off and everybody's just...
Yeah, I always have to miss VSR and Tub Thumpers because it's just like I'm always working at that time.
Well, I'll tell you all now, and especially for people that watch the replay tomorrow. And if you do, thank you very much for watching the replay. Me and Si are going to do a Tub Thumpers Global Edition.
Ooh.
And so what we're going to do now is there's a lot of people like yourselves that have to take time off work, or like you, Jeff, when we got you on, you had to move your time, you had to sort this out, this and that, and so forth. So me and Si are going to do Tub Thumpers. We'll always be on a Wednesday for people, you know, but we're also we'd like to get people from, you know, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere across that it's hard for them to come into Tub Thumpers on a Wednesday. So we're going to start doing Tub Thumpers Global Edition and doing a one for other parts of the world as well. Because there's so many people that me and Si want on, but we just, you know, luckily, you know, we've managed to get you on, we've managed to get Scuba on and a couple of other Americans, but there is a lot that have to move it around, you know, and the Australian lads too. I mean, I'd love to have some of the Aussies on, and you know, but so you know, well, I think we'll stick with this. I think we'll stick with doing a few evening ones. I like them.
You know, I hope the Brits, you know, I hope those guys watch it. I know, Si, you do because you stay up so late.
Yeah.
I hope everyone else there watches it.
What'd you say, Pete?
It's just a fun mix to have.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
ZSR and Tub Thumpers. You can do this, and like you said, it's not just like, oh, it's just America time zones. Like PGM's like about time. You know, there's all these global zones that we can take advantage of.
PGM or Jason
Australia.
Yeah, Si said something nice about us today, which I thought, you know, was lovely of our side, because we all know our side's not going to say it unless he means it. Do you know what I mean? And he turned around and said, it's nice that we've done this for once, you know, because we're always, we do a lot of time where we have to take time out of our days, if you will, to, you know, to do other things and so forth. So that was nice that you wrote that. What did you write, Si, today? You wrote something like,
I wrote Mark's a massive bellend.
But then he put hearts after it, so it made it fun.
Yeah, but I put a few love hearts after it and said he's all right. No, I just said, you know, at the end of the day, you always do. You Americans always look after us British at the end of the day, and with ZSR and with Tub Thumpers, it's always on a time where it's like in the afternoon for you. You know, it should be like now and again. Do it when you're all finished for the day and stuff.
Thanks, Gap. You've legend.
Now, Shabby, while you've been hosting.
Oh, right. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Let's have a look.
That's as good as it gets.
I'm giving up.
Take me off, big.
Damn good doodling right there.
Know, if it wasn't for the hat, I wouldn't know if it was me or Si. Do you know what I mean? That's, that's brilliant. Pete, please keep that now, frame it. I'll put it with my
some of it I was like, literally watching you and just letting my hand do it. Yeah, that's as good as it gets.
Think you could draw a Si? Well, watch this. Do you know what I mean?
So, Si, do you have an absolute favorite piece you've ever done, or means the most to you?
No,
or is everything for sale?
Well, it's not a case of everything. I'll draw a lot for myself in the fact of like they're just like I said, doodles and sketches and just things I like to draw if I'm not doing anything. But as far as my favorite, I'm doing one at the it's been doing it for 2 years and it's all the bonds. I'm just waiting for it to just announce the last bond so I can just get this done, get it framed, get it sold. You know what I mean? It's driving me mad. But we all know it's going to be Anthony Taylor Johnson. But
so you've drawn the other ones. You're just waiting for the head of the other one. Now I get it. Right.
Literally, everything else is in, but the new Bond. Well, I thought it was going to be announced around 18 months ago, so I started doing it, and I was on a big sheet of card. It's a really big, nice, big piece, and they still haven't announced it official. You know, so I don't want to do it thinking, oh, it's definitely going to be him, and then it's Henry Cavill. I'll be like, no,
that sucks.
Yeah, so I can't do it till it's officially announced. You know.
Yep.
So, Si, do you have Pygmy?
Sorry, I was going to say the Pygmy people miss out because you're the Pygmy people.
Something daddy, really.
Si, do you have stuff that? How far back do you have work? I mean, I've got work that I did in high school.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Wow. Work for it. Like I said, that is just. If I was to pile it on the floor of what I've got in paper of work, it's probably a stack.
How do you archive and store your stuff? Do you have like flat sheet drawers?
No, I've got a load of big black files. Half of it's all in. Like, I showed this work because it was easiest to get out for now, and I thought if we do it again, I'll get the big lot out. So I'll get the big files and just flicking the file papers over and.
Oh, we'll definitely do it again.
It's in big black folders, yeah.
We'll definitely. I mean, I was quite impressed, and I've got to be honest here. I was nervous as anything, but we had over 20 people in at one time. I mean, I can't complain with that. My first ever late night live stream. You know what I mean? All our main audience are all tucked up. Do you know? So I'm delighted with that. So thank you all so much for coming. It's been awesome. It really has. Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, my bed is calling. Yeah, we're going to call it a night now. But honestly, thank you to Scuba and Scott and Jeff and Andy as well for popping in with Josh. Thank you all so much. Si's been brilliant, man.
Very nice.
Admit, as your brother, I sound a bit biased, but I could look at your work all night, mate.
Blown away.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's
cheers,
fantastic.
Lads. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, well,
and
please,
like I said, if you think it's worth doing again, we'll do another. If you think it's worth doing, we'll do another one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people write in the comments, tell you what to do because we've had a few people in. But if you would like to see another late night one, we'll do another late night one. We'll get the Americans and the Australians and the news. We'll get everybody. We'll try and get as many as possible. They're kind of nice because, to be honest, if we weren't streaming, we'd be all behind the scenes talking, wouldn't we? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
We'd be doing this anyway, but behind the scenes. So I just thought, it'd be great. Yeah. Ricardo says, Shabby, it's great to see you and Si streaming at this time of day. Awesome stream as always. Great panel of guests. Honestly, Ricardo, you absolutely star. Lovely thing to say. Thanks so much for Gilster as well. Like I said, it's nice that Gilster's here.
He's Central Time, so
great stream, guys.
Oh, can I just say as well, I'm on an art stream with PGM. I'm on an art stream with PGM on the 18th of March. Me and Chris Smith, we're just going to do some live drawing on PGM's channel. That's at 10:30 UK time.
18th of August this month coming up.
Yeah, 18th of August. Yeah, Sunday.
We've got Tub Thumpers coming up with Georgie on Wednesday, so that'll be good with Georgie. Then we've got ZSR on what is it now? I'll just plug something. The week after, we've got Tez on ZSR on Friday on Tez's channel. Week after is the photo album. Some of these photos that I have got in, honestly, it's going to be one of the best CSRs ever. I have got some absolute belting photos, honest. And it's weird because I said this, I think on when did I say it on ZSR on Friday or something? It's so funny. No, I think I said it on. Anyway, some people look completely different, but some people and the faces never changed. Never changed.
I got it. I'm trying to find one photo to send you, Shabby.
No, send me a couple. Send me a few. Send me as many as you want.
There's one I'm trying to find that I cannot find. I've got a few other ones to send you, which I'll do that tonight.
Well, people have got to the 13th to get them in, to the 13th of August.
Okay.
So you got time to get them in, but it's going to be a great stream that. But no, Scoob, have you got anything coming up? Any streams you're doing or?
No, pretty quiet.
You're quiet, Scoob.
What?
I know. We stole away to the beach, and it's just been kind of a weird few weeks, but it's nice to just be chilling, hanging out.
The place you stayed at looked really nice, looked lovely.
Yeah,
did you have a good time?
Yeah, we had a great time. Yep,
looked really cool.
Got to see that concert, and Leslie and I have some quality time just hanging out. I mean, it was hotter than blue blazes.
I bet it was. Alabama.
It was like heat advisory of 115.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
There was that controversy this week as well when we found out Jeff's wife doesn't like supercars. I don't think that went down the street.
Dun.
I know. I did not. I suspected it all along, and I don't like it.
Crazy talk right
that was hilarious.
There's that brilliant picture against that Ferrari, and the face is like, what? You know what I mean? Oh, it's
whatever.
Every time I see a really nice sports car like that, I'm like, oh, I want that. She's like, I'd get it and sell it.
Well, let me ask you a question before we go. Would you get one now, though? Because my two favorite cars has always been the Trans Am, as you all know, but my second favorite has always been a Land Rover Defender, the old school Defenders with the tire on the. If I had those two cars, I don't think I'd ever want a car again. But if I was a multimillionaire now, I don't think I'd buy a sports car. I mean, I'd buy the Trans Am, but I don't think I'd buy a Ferrari. I think I'd look like a proper plumbing agent.
I think I'd still buy a Ferrari or a Lambo or something.
Yeah, still buy it like Jay Leno.
Yeah.
I'd go around like I was Rick Ross and have loads of these sports cars. And I'd be like Rick Ross.
I'm actually in the market for a new car right now, and I just went and drove one tonight. I'm looking to maybe buy a 5 Series BMW, but not a new one. I can't afford a new one, but I've been thinking about buying a new. I need a new commuter car since I'm having to go back into the office more and more. And my commute.
I had a 535 and I've had a 325 injection. I've had them both.
Yeah,
worst cars I've had in my life. Then BMW. I'm driving down the motorway from Manchester to Blackpool in my BMW 325 injection. Beautiful thing this was. All of a sudden, the whole electrics goes. Right, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Everything goes. So I've got the whole dash goes. The lights go. The fuse box blew in it, and I had nothing. So I had to drive for about an hour from Manchester to Blackpool with no lights, no dashboard lights, no headlight, pitch black on the motorway. I couldn't believe it. That was
what year was your car?
Oh, it was an old one. It was early 2000s. Well, it wasn't at the time because it was 2000. When did I come back here? 2014. So it was about 10 years old when I had it. But it was a nice car. But honestly, mate, I couldn't wait to get rid of it.
Yeah, I heard the older ones used to be just absolute crap like that.
Oh,
so
nightmare! Absolute nightmare. Scuba, could you do a vid underwater?
I've thought about that with like a GoPro and some GI Joes.
Yeah,
some Cobra Eagles.
Oh, cheers, Lack. Can't wait to catch the next one.
Thanks, Lack.
Lack would have a 1999 Chevy Suburban. That's a nice car, though. Yeah, that is a nice one.
I don't know, Jeff, you're kind of getting up there. How about a Subaru Outback?
Oh, do you know what? My next girlfriend.
Are you saying that because we just bought one?
Solid cars.
Shabby, it's Anna's dream car. If she had her way, she'd have a Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition.
Yeah. We needed another car because our Jeep just was on its last legs or whatever, and we did find another one which was amazing. It was 57,000 miles. It had a hole in the trunk, and I'm like, it was weird, because this fella's like, oh, it was a one owner, 57,000 miles, and we were like, what? That's unbelievable. Yeah, I only want 3,500 for it. So we were like, bargain. Go around and see it and all that. And the way he's talking, I'm like, this is too good to be, because you're looking at the car and it's spotless. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's something not. Then I opened the boot and there's literally no floor in the boot, all rusted out. So I'm like, the reason that's got 57 because it's stayed there and stuff, and it's rained all the way through it. I thought, I'm not
flooded out.
Yeah, I thought no. So, well, I've never had a Subaru, so I'm looking forward to that.
My dad has one. He likes it. Yeah, I'm looking at a 5 or 3 Series, something about 4 or 5 years old, 3 or 4 years old. We'll see.
Yeah. What about you, Scott? What would you have, Scott? If you had to have your favorite dream car, what would it be?
I mean, geez, no midlife crisis or anything, but you know damn well it'll be a Lambo.
It would be a Lambo, right?
Cannonball Run.
Back to the homelands with that one, but yeah, I'm taking a Lambo.
Yeah, thanks for that, Pete. I know these lot have turned it into Top Gear for the last half an hour, but thanks for that. You know, thanks for that. I don't know which one's Jeremy Clarkson, but thanks for that.
Shabby is.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, we'll say goodbye. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you all soon.